In this video, I want to show you guys a trick for PHROLOVA players to give her a huge chunk amount of crit damage bonus. For example, my PHROLOVA went from 275 crit damage to 435. With this trick, you can easily double or even triple your damage output with PHROLOVA. Also, this only works on PHROLOVA and mostly should be used in holograms because it is quite tricky to pull off otherwise, since the buff will disappear after 30 seconds being outside of combat. But with making use of this trick, I made my PHROLOVA go from 130,000 damage crits to 300,000 crit, pretty much almost tripling the damage that I did, which is a pretty cool thing from my PHROLOVA that's not even maxed out yet, with a pretty mediocre echo build and not even maxed out skills. You can definitely hit higher. I saw people hit for 500,000 damage, so this is a big help for everybody who's struggling with holograms. And no, you don't need sequences for this, or no signature weapon. Every PHROLOVA player can pull this off, because this is about her inherent skill that's in her kit. But let's get into the explanation. While this trick also might be useful for other game modes, I find this trick the best suited for holograms. Some people might even call this an exploit, but in the end it's just abusing the game mechanics, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Pretty much the quick summary how this trick works is that PHROLOVA can stack up crit damage with one of her inherent skills. PHROLOVA has this inherent skill. She will obtain 10 stacks of Aftersound every time she enters the battle. And I will also stop reading from here. This is the most important thing that matters. So every time she pretty much enters the battle, may it from an intro skill or may it just entering a hologram stage. And now you already can see where this is going. She gets an Aftersound stack. So this Aftersound stack can actually only stack up to 24 times, but it actually goes even further than that, because after she stacked it up 24 times, it says right here, when Aftersound reaches max, each new stack of Aftersound increases PHROLOVA's crit damage by another 1% up to 100%. What this pretty much means is that PHROLOVA can get up to 160 bonus crit damage. This is actually quite a high number. Looking at my PHROLOVA here, she has 80% crit rate, 275 crit damage. Very mediocre build, but I guess it's good enough for this showcase, because I will show you now how far can we go with this stack up mechanic. And thanks to Raguna and the holograms, we can actually do it quite fast. So how it works is you just go to a hologram of your choice. It works in Raguna, but it also works in Wuthering and every other hologram. All you need to do is really just enter the battle and then restart it or leave the battle and go in again. For example, we're gonna go into the fleur-de-lis showcase, and so I don't die accidentally for this showcase, I will just pick like hologram 4 or something. Let's go here. So you can see I got 10 stacks now, and we're gonna leave right away and we're gonna restart. That's literally it. You can see we have 10 stacks here already. That means we got some Aftersound stacks, but you gotta hurry a little bit. And now we have 20 because I restarted the battle. So that's what you do. You leave the battle again and then you press restart. Now we are about to reach the Aftersound max stack, which is 24. But now you see we get another 6 stacks from the other part of the inherent skill, which gives us 1% per each stack. What you do now is pretty much go up to 100. So this is gonna take a while. I will just keep repeating this process, and I will show you guys my PHROLOVA when, yeah, we literally just repeated it up to 100 stacks. It's gonna take a while, so we'll just fast forward the video. I will just leave the domain for now, just to show you guys how far we go. So we already got 381 crit damage, and we are about to keep going, just to show you guys that this is actually quite a nice trick you can do. And you know, you can use this crit damage for your advantage, because you will definitely deal way more damage if you have like 500, 400 crit damage. I'm gonna check my stacks up now. I'm already at 411% crit damage. We can just keep going until 100. All right. One more reset and we should be at max stacks. You can see I have now 9624, and now we should be at what, 100. All right, so that is my maximum stacks right now. I have 435 100% crit damage. Now you could also put, for example, a Shorekeeper in your team and you get another 25% crit damage, but you can also like maybe buff her with food if you want to. There's also buff food. And yeah, you can do a lot of damage with 400% crit damage with her. I found this is such a neat trick. You can definitely get this even higher if you have really crazy build. By the way, I have her signature weapon, of course, and I also am using the Echo set, the new one for her, because this one gives her 20% crit rate on top. Just to see what damage numbers I can reach, let's see, what does 435% crit damage look like? I have never seen this myself either. Let's get her ult up real quick. Sadly, yeah, it's a level 80 fleur-de-lis. It's probably gonna be a bit not realistic, but just as a funny little showcase. You can try this yourself, of course. Let's use her ult. Let's see what Hecate is actually hitting for. Yeah, that's the only issue that this trick has. If you die, you lose all the stacks. But if you're a better player than me and you just can dodge, unlike me. So I actually went through the process again and I stacked her up to 100 stacks again with the 160% crit damage bonus. And here we can see that I'm fighting fleur-de-lis level 70. So I just hope I don't die again. I just wanted to show off like a big crit damage number, which we're gonna see right here. I'm hitting for 366,000, and just as another showcase, without the stack up mechanic that I've used here, I was hitting with my normal FROLOVA, I was hitting for 130,000. So I pretty much tripled, maybe doubled the damage. I definitely have seen crazier numbers with this, and keep in mind this is a S0 FROLOVA. If you have sequences, she's gonna hit even harder with this heavy attack that she has when she has completed her Forte, her music note sheet. It actually hits quite hard. I didn't try it too much yet, but I just wanted to show you guys how this all works. And I think you can also use this trick maybe for different type of content as well. Maybe for people that want to show off high crit damage numbers or want to show off big crits in their videos. That could be a funny idea. I don't think they're gonna nerf this trick. I think it's quite intended like this. And maybe for people that were struggling with holograms, this might be quite helpful for them, of course. You just get like 160% bonus crit damage on top, and I think this can be quite huge. Of course, you don't have to max it out every time because this actually takes quite a while if you go to 160, but you can also just go to 60%. That's quite fast actually. You reset only just a few times. Feel free to try this out for yourself, everybody. Pretty much it, guys. I appreciate you all for watching this far. For more Wuthering Waves content, of course, subscribe, give a thumbs up if this was helpful, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye.